Wait! Prince!
No! I don't want to marry the princess!
If all the princes keep running away like this, I'll leave my kingdom and go somewhere else.
No, father. Don't say that. I'm ready for marriage.
Huh?
But I have one condition.
What condition?
I will marry the one who can take care of my rabbits and feed them for 1 whole month.
Listen, everyone! Whoever takes care of the princess's rabbits.
And within no time, this news spread like wildfire. Many princes came forward to try their luck by fulfilling the condition.
Give them the rabbits.
The rabbits created such a commotion that within a short time, all the princes left the rabbits there and ran away.
So many princes from different places came, but they could not handle these little rabbits. I don't see anyone far and wide who can complete this task.
Wonderful.
Pardon me, my king. I can fulfill your condition.
An ordinary shepherd?
No. What if he fulfills the condition? Will my daughter spend her entire life with him?
As per the announcement, we'll have to hand over the rabbits to him for now.
Princess? I have never seen your rabbit so happy. There is definitely something magical in the tunes of that shepherd's flute.
Is it? Well, that's interesting.
Influenced by the commander's words, Princess Tara secretly went to see all this herself. And seeing her rabbit so happy there, she couldn't believe it. Meanwhile, Kirti saw the princess sneaking around. And that's how they meet. And after that, they started meeting every day. As soon as the king gets to know about it, he becomes furious and makes a plan to stop Kirti from fulfilling the condition.
Wow! How beautiful. These rabbits are very adorable.
The king?
Can you give me at least one for my daughter? In return, I'll give you a gold coin.
Yes, why not? But for that, only a gold coin will not work. You will also have to do some other work, just like washing dirty clothes, giving a massage, and also polishing my shoes.
No one seems to be watching. And then, how many clothes and shoes can this shepherd have? I am ready. Oh my God, so much work. You made me do the work of the entire village. At least now give me a rabbit.
Yes, here you go.
Got it.
My king, where is the rabbit?
Here it is.
Wow, my king, you didn't just bring a rabbit, but also solved our problem. Stop!
Oh, what have you done? Stop!
You are very special. The king himself took you on a tour of the palace.
Now it was Queen Ketki's turn to bring the rabbit.
Oh, wow. You play the flute so well. And these rabbits are so cute. I feel like taking them with me. Can I have one of them, please?
Why not? But I have a condition. You have to do some work for me.
I already knew this.
Huh?
Close all the windows and doors of this room. Quickly, do it.
Wow. He was so confident of marrying my daughter. Listen, start preparing for the celebration.
Oh no, why did you open the window?
As soon as 1 month passed, Kirti reached the palace the very next day to marry the princess. Seeing all the rabbits safe, Queen Ketki put forward a strange condition in front of Kirti.
Bring 3 sacks. You don't have to fill them with any objects, but with your own words. Can you do it?
Yes, with your permission, I can certainly try.
Go ahead.
Once upon a time, there was a powerful king whom everyone feared in the kingdom. But one day, an ordinary shepherd made him wash his clothes, massage his dirty feet, and polish his shoes.
Oh no, he knows everything.
The name of that king was...
Stop! It's filled. It's filled. The sack is full.
But there are still 2 more sacks left, my king. Once there lived a very beautiful queen. But one day, listening to an ordinary shepherd, she sewed his torn clothes and trimmed the wool of his sheep. The queen's name was...
Stop it! Stop it!
Enough. It's enough.
Once upon a time, there was a very beautiful princess who fell in love with a shepherd. She used to come to meet him every day on the hill.
It's done. Stop it now. Well done. You have passed this test too. You are blessed with a wealth of wisdom. Undoubtedly. We couldn't find a better match for the princess than you.
Wow, Amma! Kirti was really very smart.
Amma, the king tried hard to break his promise. But you don't do that, please.
I kept my promise by telling you a story.
Amma, you promised to tell us a story in the evening. It's still afternoon. Now you have to tell a story in the evening as well.
Yes.
Now you can't break your promise, Amma.
Okay. I'll tell you a story in the evening too.
Yay!
Rajkumari Padma, the daughter of King Vidyadhar of Vijayanagar, had grown into a beautiful woman. and tales of her beauty had spread far and wide. Many princes from different kingdoms were eager to marry her. But whenever the topic of marriage came up, Princess Padma would refuse. There was an unusual story behind her reluctance.
Princess, many proposals for your marriage have come, but you don't like any of the boys.
Father, I trust no man other than you. So I will not marry anyone.
But how will you spend your life alone, Princess? I request you to choose a good boy and marry him.
The prince's trust in boys had faded. But this news had spread not only in Vijayanagar, but also in the neighboring kingdoms. One day, Rajkumar Venkat of the neighboring kingdom Uttamnagar got to know about this. After learning everything, he decided to meet the princess and reached Vijayanagar in disguise.
I've heard that the princess doesn't like boys, but there must be a reason behind it. First, I need to find out the cause. But whom should I ask? Whom should I ask?
Spare me this time, Munna. I won't put so much burden on you next time. Save me!
Listen, brother.
Yeah. Yes, tell me.
Stay happy, dear. There was no need to bow down so hard. You seem to be a nice boy. I should leave, or else I'll be late in reaching the palace.
The palace? Whatever happened, happened for good. Let me ask her. Auntie, oh auntie. Hey, auntie, I will pick it up.
God bless you, dear.
Thank you, auntie. Do you work in the palace?
Yes, dear.
Oh, then you must know Princess Padma as well.
Yes, absolutely. Since her childhood.
Auntie, if you don't mind, may I ask you something?
Yes, go ahead.
Then tell me, why does Princess Padma dislike boys?
What should I say, dear? It's a very long story.
The palace is far too. We can cover the story while walking to the palace.
All right, let me tell you. The princess had a strong bond with the maid since childhood. And the maid took care of her from the beginning. During that time, she used to tell the princess the same story every day. The story was about a beautiful Maina family with a Maina, her husband, and 2 children. Everyone lived happily in their nest. But one day, a fire broke out in the tree. The poor Maina kept pleading with her husband to take them and the children somewhere safe. But he kept thinking that the fire would extinguish soon. But in no time, the tree along with the Maina and her children caught fire. And the husband left them flying away.
What the miner's husband did was absolutely wrong.
This is exactly what the princess also feels. Due to repeatedly hearing the same story, she became so influenced by it that gradually she started to believe that this life of hers is the second life of that Maina. In her past life, her husband had done something so terrible to her, and that's why she dislikes every boy.
So that's the matter. Auntie, we have reached the palace. Thank you for sharing the story.
God bless you, dear.
So this is the reason for the princess's dislike towards boys. I'll have to think of a solution so that Princess Padma's dislike ends forever. My king, I'm a storyteller. I have tales of every taste, old and new, from every place, near and far. If you permit, I would like to narrate them to you.
Yes, of course, why not? You have my permission.
But my king, I have one condition.
What condition?
I will not talk to any woman. And I will not narrate my stories to any woman.
What kind of condition is this? May I know the reason behind it?
Certainly, my king. When I was traveling for stories across different places, I met a sage. Pleased with my services, he told me that in my past life, I was a male miner. I used to live in a tree with my wife and children. One day, a fire broke out in that tree, and my wife left, leaving us to burn. I kept pleading with her to save all of us, but she didn't listen and left, saving only herself. After knowing that, I developed a dislike towards women. I decided that I would never get married.
Stop it! How dare you steal my story? You are not a storyteller, but a thief. Soldiers, arrest him! My king, he is lying. This is not his but my story. And he was the one who left us. I am the same miner who was your wife in the past life.
No, my king, my story is absolutely true. She is the one lying.
No, you are lying.
Princess Padma and Prince Venkat were not ready to end their argument. Both considered their stories to be true. Seeing this, King Vidyadhar thought of something to stop their fight.
Stop! This is my court, and no one can violate its decorum. For this, both of you can be punished.
Forgive me, my king.
Forgive me, my king. But what kind of justice is this in your kingdom? I only set a condition that I would not narrate my story to any woman. But no one respected my condition, and in return, I have been arrested too. Well, now that I have been made a prisoner, at least tell me your decision. According to you, whose story is true? Mine or Princess Padma's?
It seems like you have a lot of knowledge about justice and rights. You are not an ordinary young man. Quickly reveal your true identity. This is an order from the king. Prince Venkat, is it you? My king, my king. He is Prince Venkat from our neighborhood kingdom, Uttamnagar. Very wise and brave.
Oh, so that's the case. Well, now I will announce my decision. Princess Padma thinks that in her past life, her husband, the male miner, betrayed her. Whereas, according to the story of Prince Venkat, the betrayal was done by his wife, the female miner. But regardless of whose mistake it was, both of you know that it was a mistake. And in this life, both of you are aware of it.
Yes,
my king.
I believe that it doesn't matter what you were or what mistakes you made in your past life. What matters is what you should do in this life. Both of you have the opportunity to rectify the mistakes of your past life in this life if you wish to.
But how, my king?
Both of you get married. And then, together, you can move forward without repeating those mistakes.
Padma and Venkat understood the king's words. And they got married and started living together. Vidyadhar and Queen Ketaki of Vijayanagar did not have any children. On the advice of their minister Saranga, they went to Ichhavan to worship the forest goddess, where people's every wish was fulfilled by worshipping her. Many days and months passed performing the puja. Ultimately, the forest goddess was pleased by their prayers.
I have understood your problem, my child. In a few months from today, a beautiful princess will be born in your palace. However, there will be one flaw in her.
Flaw?
What kind of flaw?
She will have a strong liking for wearing new clothes every day, and this habit of hers may bring a great crisis in your life. So tell me, do you still wish to have a child?
Goddess, it doesn't matter if there is some pain along with such great happiness.
As you wish.
As with the blessings of the goddess, a princess was born in the royal palace just a few days later.
Congratulations! A daughter is born!
My little princess.
Listen, everyone!
As soon as this news spread throughout the kingdom, the entire kingdom lit up like Diwali in celebration of the king's joy. As time passed, Princess Chitralekha became more beautiful.
You must be feeling tired from keeping it on your head all day. Let me wear it for a while.
As you wish, princess. It looks so beautiful.
What are you doing? Colors are not meant to be kept like this, but to be spread and enjoyed. You're looking good. Where is my special attire for today? Here it is, princess. Huh? What is this? Will Princess Chitralekha wear such ordinary clothes? Even after my instructions, you haven't added any diamonds to it. And where is the work of golden flowers on it?
Pardon me, princess, but when I went to the minister, I couldn't get the necessary things. For the time being, please choose and wear one of these clothes.
Once Princess Chitralekha wears a dress, she does not even touch it again. And you are talking about re-wearing these?
The prince's collection of jeweled clothes kept growing, and the treasury kept emptying. As Chitralekha grew up, the goddess's warning to the king seemed to be coming true.
Is the treasury empty? With your presence in the palace along with so many soldiers, such a major theft occurred and no one knew. The thief should be arrested as soon as possible.
Forgive me, my king, forgive me. But this is not any kind of thief's work. The entire treasury has been exhausted in making the princess's clothes.
What did you say? Making clothes?
Yes, my king. This is a time of critical crisis for our kingdom. I tried to inform you, but every time you refuse to listen, saying that whatever the princess wants should be given to her. So, what should I do?
So what did he say wrong in this?
Calm down, princess. Don't talk like that. Don't forget that I have to take care of the entire people of the kingdom along with you.
The entire kingdom was immersed in worry. Seeing the severity of the situation, the king comes up with a solution. The king went to the forest with his daughter to seek help from the goddess.
Oh, goddess, please help. I have come here to seek your help. Have mercy on me, goddess.
I know the reason for your visit here, my king. Remember, I had cautioned you, but you didn't pay any heed to it.
Please forgive me, goddess. But now, my entire kingdom is in distress. You are the only one who can help us.
All right. In order to help you, all I can do is send new clothes for your princess every single day.
What? Really? I'm blessed, goddess.
But princess, be aware, there is also a condition. If you exchange the clothes I provide with someone else, everything will come to an end on that day.
This will never happen, goddess.
As you wish.
From the very next day, new clothes used to appear for the princess every day, and she felt quite happy while wearing them. The days, months, and seasons changed. But what didn't change was the princess's restless mind. After enjoying for some days, the princess began to get bored of wearing the goddess's clothes. And with time, she even forgot her promise to the goddess.
So beautiful.
I know I'm beautiful.
Who is this beautiful girl?
Huh? Whoever she might be, but no one can be more beautiful than the princess. But who cares?
Well, the princess is indeed beautiful. She has precious clothes and jewelry, but she still looks so lovely even in these ordinary clothes.
I'm wearing such beautiful clothes, adorned with jewelry given by the goddess. Yet how can she look so beautiful? It seems there's something special about her clothes, and I should be the one to have the most beautiful clothes on earth.
Hey, you, listen to me. Look, the princess is here.
Greetings, princess.
Look, I need to go to the fair. And if the people there recognize me, it will be a problem. So, if you don't mind, can you give me your sari in exchange for my clothes?
My sari? Are you joking with me, princess?
Absolutely not.
All right.
Huh? What's this? Where have I come to? Huh? Even after my warning, you have exchanged the clothes I gave you with someone else, and you have dared to disobey my command. For this, you will surely be punished. What mistake have I made? Please forgive me, goddess. There is no forgiveness for not obeying my command. Huh? You will have to leave this world immediately. No, please don't do this, goddess.
If you like this video, subscribe to our channel Murthy Media.